where you see these little grooves right here.
Yeah.
That's for O-rings. And this
Right.
half, if you look up from underneath, this one's wetter, so I didn't want to pick that one up. But there's dowels that you can see from underneath.
Right,
They
right.
go into here, and it keeps the crankcase halves from shifting.
Exactly.
It's called fretting.
Okay.
The crankcase halves will actually fret. And by putting those dowels in there, Lycoming never did it from the factory, but they came out with a service instruction thereafter that they recommend it gets done. So
Right.
anytime we do an overhaul on any of these,
Isn't this one of the dowels?
no, this would be a dowel right here.
Okay.
But this one's a small one. This is what it came with from the factory. It had two small ones.
Right.
The other one's in the other half that goes into this one.
Right.
From the factory, these holes were small. They used to be the size of the hole that you see bored down in there.
Uh-huh.
They open them up at the crankcase place. They open them up and then machine the grooves in there. So then those dowels, when they go in, kind of sandwich,
Okay.
and you can't move the crankcase.
Okay.
Then you don't get any twisting.
Right.
So that's another thing that was done. But anyway, so I'm starting to get that. I got the oil sump over there, and we got a little painting area with a fan back there to take all the fumes out.
So if there was a crack in this engine, in this block,
Yep.
and you saw a little line here, would that mean the whole thing is cracked through and through, or you'd have to take it apart to tell?
What you would do is you would actually clean the paint all off, and then you would put a dye in there, and then you clean the dye off once you put the dye on, and then you put a developer on it after that, and you check it for see how much of the stuff keeps coming out.
Okay.
And or clean it off, run it, and see if you get oil that comes out of the
Right.
because if you got a crack, you're going to have oil. And a lot of times, it's just a stress fracture in the outer layer of the.
In the very out, so that's not a crack.
So that's not a full-blown crack. That could just be a stress.
Okay.
It could be a stress crack.
Okay.
Most times, though, if you see, it depends on the area. Like your crankshaft flange is up here where the prop goes.
Right.
This area is prone right up in here and down. And anywhere all through here is a high stress area.
Right.
If you have, a crack, if you see a crack there, it's most likely a crack.
Okay.
It's not,
But right in this section is where that's how we met you, by the way, because the guy before you said there was a little crack right here, and it looked like a little scratch in the paint
right
to me.
right.
But he told me about no testing like that, no kind of,
Oh, really?
double checking.
Oh, well, we've had that happen before, where we've cleaned the area off, and you go like this and hope that it's not. Maybe
Exactly.
it wasn't, but that happens a lot.
Excellent. Yeah.
These are the bearings here. These are the front mains. See how
Okay.
it's all worn down in that area?
Yes.
Polished out from the crankshaft spinning.
Right.
You have two halves.
Okay.
They go. If you look down in there, they sit right in that big groove down
Okay.
in there. And then these other ones here go in the other journals, all in the back. You've got one here, and then one in the back here.
Okay.
So, but the cam doesn't ride on any bearings. It rides directly on the case itself.
Okay.
But the crankshaft or crankcase people redid the whole case, and it's like new. It's all back to new tolerances.
Okay.
They have the capability of adding metal and then running machines down and reline boring everything.
Right.
They do a nice job. So.
We're gonna have you on YouTube.
Oh, great! Don't do that.
Fantastic.
But that's that.
Okay.
So that's where we stand right now. And like I said, we have to get all the painting done first.
Yes,
And
obviously.
then and the crankshaft itself is over next to my toolbox. I didn't even take it out of the bag yet.
Okay.
But that's all ready to go.
Right.
Oh, I wanted to show you the cam also over here. Anyway.
Okay.
Might as well. It's like a maze in here. So. We've been pretty busy lately, so.
That's good for you.
This is the camshaft, and obviously this is a reject tag that they send back.
Right.
But
So this was rejected?
this camshaft is what we were fighting over with the
Right,
insurance
right.
company, right? Now, if you look, none of the teeth are chipped per se. I thought they fine glass. You could see where the tooth has. They're considering those chips.
Really?
You see that wear there, and that is grounds for rejection.
That's amazing.
Because they should be, this is a slight bit of wear on this tooth.
Right,
Notice
right.
it's not all pitted.
Right.
I have a magnifying glass if you really want
No,
to
but I
look
mean,
at
I
it,
can
but-
see just the beginning of it.
Yep, and the same with this end. If you catch the light right, I mean, here it's clean. If you want to,
Yeah.
fiddle with it and all, but you
But
can
it's not
see
as if the whole tooth is
the
broken
tooth didn't
off.
break off. It didn't
Right.
actually take.
It's minor
They
stuff
they
that's-
they yeah. What they told me was it was chipped, and that I guess that's what they're considering a
Right.
chip, because there's actually a certain percentage of the tooth missing.
Right.
Because what happens is the gear teeth go together and they'll do this.
Right.
And when they're flapping back and forth like that when they're running, that's when they, wear out.
Now,
After how many hours of stuff like that?
Well, usually these will go for right through overhaul. Till
Okay.
overhaul and then replace them.
PO or something.
Exactly. And on this engine, it's a 2,000-hour engine.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if this cam was put in by the last guy, whether it was put in as a good serviceable cam, they call it, which means it meets specifications, but it's
Right.
been already
Right.
through
It's
one
used.
cycle.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically a used part. I don't put in any used cams because I don't want to warranty them. Because
Right.
you have to take the whole engine apart to change
to
them.
get them, yeah.
So it's not worth it, because these lobes right here, this is what usually wears down on them. This one here is starting to wear already. You see
Right.
that discoloration?
Right.
That eventually, it goes through the hardness shell in the steel. And once you get down through that hardness layer, it goes down into softer steel. And then eventually
Really
this will
wears.
turn out like this. It'll just be round. And then it won't open the valves in the cylinder. But this isn't in terrible. I wouldn't consider this terrible, except for the gear teeth being like they are. But they put this all in a cleaner and dip it so it comes out all looking nice.
Right.
It looks like new. You guys are welcome to this. You can take it with you if you like. Whatever you want to do, it's no good to me. But that's that. And this is your crankshaft. Like I said, I didn't even take it out of the box yet.
Boy, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get any dirt on it
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah,
but
no, that's beautiful.
that's the whole crank.
Right.
That big main bearing sits right on this journal, and so on, and then that's a main. The other ones are the throw rods
Right.
for the connecting rods, or actually the throw journals. And then these are counterweights. They move with engine speed.
Right.
They actually shift and change weight.
Okay.
So that's to balance everything out. So the whole thing, what they do at the crankshaft place is they disassemble I sent it to them like this. They disassemble the counterweights. They clean it all up, inspect it, put it through Magnaflux, check it. If everything checks out, then they continue doing all the polishing of the journals,
Right.
cutting the journals, whatever. The rods they cut, they ended up cutting another 3/1000ths of an inch off. So we went with the next size up bearing on those.
Okay.
That's all.
And is this part of the prop overhaul?
No, it has nothing.
This,
This is
this is the engine overhaul.
This is just the engine overhaul.
Okay.
Now the insurance company covers. I don't know if you want to.
That's all right now. I'm not
saying,
going to send it.
the insurance company covers the R&R of this, the Magnaflux inspection, polish of the journals, all that kind of stuff, the routine stuff. They won't cover the cutting of the journal to bring it back to like new tolerance.
Okay.
So so that'll be an additional small expense, but
Okay.
nothing huge. At all.
Okay.
You're
Yeah, my
talking
Donald was actually asking me what I thought our obligation would be.
Contribution,
Would be. So if I kind of gave him an idea of what I was.
Right.
had-
Well, I had given him something already showing the total with the cylinder work, because
Right.
that obviously the insurance company doesn't
Right.
cover that. So we have the insurance, the cylinder work, the crankshaft cutting, the cam, and the crankcase.
Okay.
The crankcase overhaul, because they don't cover any of that.
Okay.
Unless if the prop had struck the ground
That's what he said, yeah.
and bent back,
Yeah.
then they would cover the expense of doing the crankcase.
Okay.
And it's not worth it to make
Now,
that.
what
yeah.
did they do with Chuck when he had that, his prop got hit? Did you hear that story?
I heard. Oh,
Which? Chuck, Doc Richardson?
Oh yeah, down in he told me about that.
The insurance covered everything.
Yep. They got him a new prop.
A new prop.
Well, see,
They
on the
did
fixed pitch
a-
props,
yeah.
they can't really do anything with them. It's not like they could change the blade. So
Oh, okay.
once you get a chip that's deep
Right.
enough, they rejected it. And once that happens, same thing with this. Once they said the blade was too far gone, they had to do the teardown
Exactly.
because Lycoming recommends it,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't go against what Lycoming says. So.
Right.
But it's in your benefit in the long run.
Yeah,
so.
it is really.
But that's pretty
Alright.
much it.
Where's Sean?
Sean is up at one of the T hangars. He's putting a cowling back on one airplane and pulling it, and he's coming out of another. So
Okay.
I'll get a couple of screwdrivers here and we'll pull the cowling off. Take a look at that alternator and whatnot.
But everything seemed to be okay today. You know, I still need the stuff with the radio, like the crystal thing. Half of it is like you can see part of it.
Is it?
Oh, that's